Hello, thank you so much for checking out this video. My name is Rosalind Walker. I am a currently elected parent representative at Lasalle Language Academy, and I am running for re-election. I am doing a series of videos because we did not have a candidate forum this year, and I'm a believer in democracy. I believe that voters should be informed and that you should know the positions of candidates that you're being asked to vote for. So I'm doing a series of videos. So the problem with doing a series of videos is that there's so much to say, but I do want to respect the time of people who visit my channel and not just ramble. So there were some points that were in other videos in the original cut that I omitted for time's sake. And then, of course, I had two people contact me and ask me a question specifically about the items that I omitted. So I decided to make a separate video and include those items. So let's talk about things that we can be proud of as a LaSalle community. Number one, we should be proud of our language program. We have an excellent language program. As far as elementary schools go, there are very few schools in the city that can even compare to us. And then once you throw in our opportunities for travel pre-COVID, and hopefully post-COVID, just absolutely a wonderful program. I can tell you my oldest son, when he graduated from LaSalle, he tested into Spanish 2, and going to a selective enrollment high school, even his first semester of Spanish 2 has been easy. And in a competitive high school, you want to take the easy A's. You want some class that is going to be less strenuous than your other classes. And so Spanish has been that for him, and it still counts as an honors class. So it still helps his GPA. So kudos to our language program and all the hard work that is put into it. Our language program is definitely a very big draw for parents to send their children to our school. One of the other things that we can be proud of at LaSalle is we do have some teachers that truly go the extra mile. We have some teachers and staff, I don't want to just say teachers and staff, who have a heart for what they do. They're here because they want to be here. I can tell of two personal incidents with myself. There was a staff person, this person's no longer at LaSalle, who knew my son was kind of geeky, techie is a better word, and referred us to a coding program outside of school. And this program has been wonderful. It has been absolutely wonderful. This has been their 4th year being a part of this coding program. And it came because just somebody, a staff person at the school, had the compassion to know my child had an interest in this and to do a referral. There was also another referral from a staff person at LaSalle in which there was someone who had a not-for-profit organization. They got a grant from the Chicago Blackhawks to teach ice skating to minority children. And this person heard about it and contacted me and said, hey, why don't you see whether or not your son would be interested in this? I took my child to the first class. I took my child to the second class. And would you know, the instructor came up to me and said, your child is a born skater, has excellent balance. And I'm appreciative of that. In our community, ice skating and hockey is not a traditional sport. And I appreciate someone at the school who's willing to think outside the box and to say, you know, perhaps if you expose your child to this, they could find out that they um, are good at something that they wouldn't necessarily have been exposed to. Another thing for us to be proud of at the school, we're a family. We are a community. Families don't agree on everything, but there is a underlying cohesiveness that occurs at Lasalle. Um, you don't always see that community in other schools, but we are definitely a community. And in families, there's ups and downs, there's good times and bad times. There's those members of the family that are the backbone that keep the family going. There's the members of the family, you know, who make us laugh. There's members of the family who we need patience with, but we're definitely a family. And lastly, LaSalle is one of the most diverse elementary schools in the city of Chicago. And sometimes diversity, we have to work on it, in that it's a process. It's more than just having children in the building from different cultures, but it's about accepting different cultures. And I have to say, I sent my children to LaSalle so that they would be exposed to different cultures. And it's been a learning experience for me as well. I've been in situations where I've got to learn about other cultures. I've been in situations where I've learned that there is discrimination beyond racial discrimination. I can remember one particular conversation where I grew up in a traditional Christian environment, and I had an opportunity to speak with a parent who is of a Jewish faith, and I just did not have that knowledge that there's still discrimination that happens with people of other faiths. And that was new information for me, and I appreciated that. I appreciate having a conversation with a parent of the Latinx community and just listening to this particular parent talk about having to walk a tightrope in her world, and the discrimination she faces, in that she looks Caucasian, but when she starts speaking, people realize that she's actually part of the Latinx community. So it's been great to hear different perspectives, and to experience different cultures. Let me say this, Mr. Graves, he's been doing a lot of work around equity. He's been doing a lot of town halls, and having different workshops and things available for parents. In case anyone hasn't noticed, Mr. Graves is a white man, okay? He doesn't have to do that. His privilege puts him in a position where he can just say that that's not a school issue, that's not an academic issue. But he doesn't say that. He sees a need, and he does make an effort to address that need. Is it perfect? Absolutely not, okay? But the reality is that if I was in charge, it wouldn't be perfect either. I don't think anyone could do this perfectly. It is very difficult work. It is work that takes courage. And not only am I glad to see Mr. Graves have the courage to take this on, I'm glad to see the parent community who says we don't have to sweep some of these sensitive topics under the rug, but we can pull the rug away, talk about it, and hopefully see some progress. So thank you so much for taking a few minutes to watch this video. Once again, my name is Rosalind Walker. I am running for re-election on the LSC, and I appreciate your vote.